Yo, what's good everyone? OJ over here from PlayerEssence and welcome to another video. Today we've got some great information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into this. And we are starting off with Dragon Quest XI for the Nintendo Switch is progressing smoothly, and there could be some information at TGS 2018. So Dragon Quest series creator Yuji Horii brought up the Nintendo Switch version of Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age during the Everyone Get Excited live stream from the Dragon Quest XI concert backstage. Nico live stream at Family Classic Concert World of Dragon Quest today. So there are just so many different sub names and everything like that. That's awesome to see. So regarding how the Nintendo Switch version is faring, here's what Horii had to say on the matter. Quote, "I can't really speak about it, but it is progressing smoothly." Now Horii also remarked that, quote, "I have a feeling we'll have a variety of announcements around TGS, but just how much we will say," hinting that there will be an announcement regarding the Nintendo Switch version of Dragon Quest XI around Tokyo Game Show 2018, which does run from September 20th to the 23rd. Now furthermore, there's some more information on this here. So Dragon Quest XI director Takashi Uchikawa said this, quote, "I have a feeling we'll be able to announce something soon," further adding to the likelihood of the Nintendo Switch version appearing there. Now, Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age is now available for the PlayStation 4 and 3DS in Japan, and will launch for the PlayStation 4 and PC via Steam in North America and Europe on September 4th. Shout outs there to Gematsu and of course Game Talk for rounding up that information and giving us an update on Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age, because I think this is very important. This was one of the first games announced for the Nintendo Switch, or NX as it was known back in the day. So the fact that it's coming out so much later after the PS4 and the PC version of the game is a little bit concerning. I know there were some people that were like, what the heck, this was announced so long ago. But at the same time, you also have to look at some of the things that have led up to this. Remember that update for Unreal Engine 4 on the Nintendo Switch where Epic announced, hey, you can do all of these different things? And remember before that update, in terms of the news that came out, they said that they were having some issues with Unreal Engine 4 on the Nintendo Switch and the game, so it's going to take them some more time. But it's funny how in that same time period where we've gotten that update, they've been able to probably apply that Unreal Engine 4 update to Dragon Quest XI. Things are all of a sudden going more smoothly, and now they might have news to announce. So I do think that there is a correlation between that update from Unreal Engine 4 and also what they're saying at this point compared to what they said beforehand with the Switch version of Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age. So I am excited to see that things are progressing good. It looks like we're going to get some info at Tokyo Game Show, and expect a lot more games to be announced at Tokyo Game Show, guys. Expect a lot more stuff from Japanese developers, because the Nintendo Switch is doing extremely well in Japan, and we're seeing some great sales numbers every single week, which we will get to in just a bit. So what do you guys think about Dragon Quest XI potentially getting, well, probably getting some information at Tokyo Game Show 2018? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, now moving into the next topic here. It seems like there's some type of built-in VR functions for the Nintendo Switch that hackers are starting to uncover. So I will be reading off a series of tweets from a dude on Twitter named Random666, and also he's quoting somebody named Oatmeal Dome as well. Now you guys know I'm not big into this whole VR scene, which we'll talk about that in just a bit, but let's go over some of this information here. So this is what he had to say on Twitter. "So I just tried and a screen appeared. Interesting. Since Twitter messed up the resolution, here is the screen with better quality." And he says, for my non-French people, it says, "Please move the console away from your face and click the close button." Now also, it's really a different rendering mode, because when something is drawn, it appears on two parts of the screen. So essentially what it looks like here is that there's going to be some type of VR function or functionality put into Nintendo Switch at some point down the line, maybe built into the actual OS of what they're going to do, and they're going to use that OS from one Switch to the next Switch, Switch 2 or Switch Pro or whatever the case is, that has a higher resolution screen. So I'm not exactly sure if this Switch is going to be able to support that with the 720p screen. I mean, I guess maybe it could be done, but it wouldn't be good VR from what I've heard. Now, I've experienced VR and I don't like it very much. You guys know I'm not a huge VR fan. I'm not sure about the health complications of having a screen that close to your eye, and I've heard people say, oh, well, there's nothing wrong with it. Well, I don't know if there's enough tests to prove that over a sustained or long period of time that nothing does happen to your eyes with the screen that close. So I don't trust it so far, but I think that it's a good idea if Nintendo did want to dabble into VR at some point. Why not have the option for those who do like VR? Now, we have heard that PlayStation VR sales are a little bit lower than what Sony was expecting, but they still got some sales there, and there's all these other ones like Vive and Oculus and all these other type of VR headsets out there that are doing okay or doing enough to continue to sustain what's going on in the whole VR community. So I think that once it gets to a point to where VR can be more affordable for Nintendo in terms of it, and to where it can become a place to where you can play games and not have something strapped to your head and it looks so silly and like it's bulky and all that stuff, and to where it just doesn't have so many limitations, I think that's when Nintendo will finally go in with VR and introduce some type of VR headset. But remember, guys, this isn't the first time that Nintendo would do VR if they're able to put it out. They have the Virtual Boy, which was VR back in the day, and I remember saying the same thing I said about the Virtual Boy as I said about VR when it was being introduced in the modern age. I don't like this, you know. I said the same thing. They were trying to push Virtual Boy on us. Look, you can play tennis and you can play all these other games. And I was just like, nah, I think I'm okay with the Game Boy and playing Pokemon, or I think I'm okay with whatever else I had at the time, you know, just playing Super Nintendo or Super Game Boy and just playing games like that, just because I didn't like having that red and black screen to my face. I thought that was silly even back then to be holding something up to your face like that, and I still don't want to do that at this point, you know. So for me, VR is more of a no-go. I'm looking at maybe like a HoloLens type of thing. I think HoloLens would be really cool. I want to see where that technology goes in the next 10 to 20 years. So if anything, I'd be interested in HoloLens the most, but hey, there's nothing wrong with Nintendo kind of doing some initial research and development, which I think they've already talked about a little bit, and kind of seeing if VR could be something that they can do in the future, just to be prepared for that. So what do you guys think about Nintendo Switch having some type of VR functionality built in already? Would you like to see VR on Nintendo Switch or in future iterations of the system? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving into the last topic here, we have the Media Create sales charts for July 30th, 2018 through August 5th, 2018, and Etrian Odyssey X, the final installment in the Atlas developed Dungeon RPG series, sold an impressive 71,946 retail copies during its first week of release in Japan, the Media Create sales figures have revealed. Now, for those who don't know, if you're new to the channel, we usually cover the Media Create sales charts every single week, and they go over the top 20 software sales in Japan alone. This is retail sales, so they don't count digital and some online retailers, all retail sales in stores. So they count that up and let us know the numbers, the actual numbers of each one, and also the lifetime sales of all of the games in the top 20 as well. Now, they also go over the hardware sales as well, which is pretty cool. We're able to see exactly how much each system is selling. So Etrian Odyssey X was the highest selling one. Now, there was a number of new releases like WarioWare Gold on the Nintendo 3DS that had over 31,000 units sold at retail, and then also Friday the 13th on the PS4 that came out, and that sold over 10,000 units at retail as well. Now, I do want to go over more of the hardware charts, and then we'll kind of get into some of the highlights from the software, and of course I'll have the numbers up here for you guys. So the Nintendo Switch had a pretty good sales week, selling over 50,000 units, with 50,799 to be exact. That's actually a nice bump over what they did the previous week, more than 2,000 units more than what they did. So that's definitely good to see, and I think that since July, that Octopath buff has been pretty good, because we haven't seen sales really dip below like 45, 47,000 units since then, and a lot of the times it's been 50,000 units plus. So I definitely think we're going to see that trend continue as we move into the September games. There's Dragon Ball FighterZ coming out for the Nintendo Switch in Japan. We also have The World Ends With You coming out for the Nintendo Switch in Japan in September. The US and Europe are getting that in October. So awesome to see Nintendo Switch in terms of hardware sales do really well. Now, another thing that I want to highlight when it comes to the software sales is Octopath Traveler. That game sold another 18,000 units plus in Japan. It was the number 6 game on the chart, so right there in the top 10. It's continuing its strong streak of sales into August, and that's exactly what you wanted to see from this type of game. Also see a lot of the usual suspects in the top 20 when it comes to the Media create sales charts. Splatoon 2, also Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Tennis Aces, all of those games were in the top 10 as well and continue to do really well, selling 15,000 units plus. A lot of the games will be hitting major milestones in terms of like 2 million units or like 1.7 or 1.5 or whatever the case is in the next couple weeks in Japan. So that's awesome to see as well. All the software doing good, and we're seeing a nice little bump, heck, even with the Nintendo 3DS with Etchy and Odyssey, where that system, as old as it is, selling over 10,000 units in Japan with Etchy and Odyssey. So that's impressive right there as well. So what do you guys think about all the different numbers here and the sales charts, in addition to the VR and Dragon Quest 11 on the Nintendo Switch potentially making an appearance at Tokyo Game Show 2018? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps to spread the content of PlayerEssence across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming pages and consider supporting PlayerEssence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship. So check out the link in the description below and consider supporting PlayerEssence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace!